It's the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network. From Medlar Field in State College, Pennsylvania, it's the Class 2A Championship featuring the Mercyhurst Prep Lakers and the Southern Columbia Tigers. With the call of the game, Bob McCool and Eric Thomas.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Medlar Field at Lebrano Park as we get you set for the PIAA Baseball State Championships here on the PIAA Radio Network. Alongside Eric Thomas, my name is Bob McCool, getting you set for Game 1 of 6. You'll hear them all right here on the PIAA Radio Network. And both of today and tomorrow, 3 games today and 3 games tomorrow. We started with the 2A game, and that is Mercyhurst Prep. The Lakers, the District 10 champion, against the District 4 runner-up Southern Columbia Tigers. Southern Columbia at 18-4. As this game gets underway, Mercyhurst Prep at 22-2. And Eric, we had a conversation with both Mike Myers, the head coach for Southern Columbia, and with Randy Durkowski, the head coach for Mercyhurst Prep. And independently of each other, although they know each other, they both kind of feel like they are a bit of a mirror image about how they not only got here, but how they hope to be able to win this baseball game as well.
Yeah, what we're going to see today and what you're going to hear is very good starting pitching by both sides. We'll talk about the matchup here in a moment. And then also very good defense behind those pitchers. Southern Columbia got to this point thanks to their pitching. Caden Hopper is not going to start here today. Levi Everett is. But behind him is going to be just as good of a defense that Hopper had in the semifinals. For Mercyhurst Prep, they won a 1-0 game in the semis against Neshannock on Monday. It was a thrilling game. It's one of the best I've personally seen in a long time. And the defense behind any of their starting pitching on that day, it was Hunter Cray who got the start, but Zach Krzyzewski, the shortstop for Mercyhurst Prep, is as good as it gets in the state of Pennsylvania. 7 assists in that semifinal. These two teams love to manufacture runs. They love to take chances at plates. They can hit the long ball if they need to tap into it. But pitching and defense are the two keys for these two teams here in this early game.
Overcast skies as we get underway this morning, but the temperature expected to be in the 90s here in State College, and we will get our game underway with a little bit of a breeze blowing as well, and based on the flags here over in left center field at Medlar Field at Lebrano Park, looking like it's blowing a little bit out right now to left center field, but obviously with storms in the area, you never know how though that may adjust. But let's take a look first and foremost for the visiting team and their starting lineup. They will go with the aforementioned Zach Krzyzewski at the shortstop position and leading off. Noah Regal in right field bats in the 2-hole. Cameron Oresco, the third baseman, bats third. The designated hitter Hunter Cray bats in the cleanup spot to be followed by Jack Stoker, the first baseman. Batting sixth is the catcher Nate Meyer. Batting in the 8th spot is center fielder Walker Ashton, and batting ninth is left fielder Mike Schloss. And that lineup facing right-handed pitcher for Southern Columbia in Levi Everett.
Levi Everett, fastball 84 to 86 on the gun, has a nice changeup and a very good curveball. You've got to be very careful against this Mercyhurst lineup. You can't leave anything over the plate, hang it up there, especially against Hayden Spencer, who hit an absolute, I'm not even sure his ball from the semi landed yet. It was that high in the air. But his changeup and his curve, his off speed is going to be, I think, what's going to be key for success on the mound. Pitched in the quarterfinals. And had a pretty good game, 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, did walk 4, but he struck out 6 in the win for the Tigers. Very good pitcher, and as you said earlier to some of the coaches, you're only as good as your number 2, and he's a really good number 2.
10:36 in the a.m., and the first pitch of the game from Everett is on the outside corner, a called strike to Krzyzewski. Third baseman Cole Myers up on the edge of the grass, just in case Krzyzewski has any ideas of dropping one down the third base line, and then charging, and he does show bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes it for a called strike 2.
Yeah, and I think it goes without saying, Bob, it's going to be, for both pitchers today, you've got to get ahead of these hitters in the count. You've got to dictate the game. You've got to make them chase pitches. You can set them up with what Everett's done here and then come back with maybe something off speed outside and try to get them swinging at some junk.
0-2 pitch is outside, but Krzyzewski lays off. Krzyzewski, a .549 hitter, so not only can he get it done with the glove, as Eric made reference to, but he's done a pretty good job with the bat in his hand as well. 11 extra base hits on the season, 7 of which are doubles. He's in a 1-2 count here. and it's way inside, spins him off the plate. Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
2 over the plate, 1 outside and 1 inside. So we've seen a little bit of everything from Everett in the at-bat.
And with all of that, and obviously with the 2 strikes now, Myers does take a step back. He's now behind the third base bag. And this one is lifted foul and out of play down the right field line as Krzyzewski hangs tough now with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aiden Hockenbrock is in left field for the Tigers. Braden Andrews is in center. Caden Zachman is in right. Andrew Yost at first. Andrew Novak at second. Caden Hopper at short. This one's lined down the right field line and slicing foul towards the bullpen as Krzyzewski stays alive. Finishing, and we've already mentioned Cole Myers is at third. Gavin Richard is behind the plate for Everett. He's locked in a battle here, getting this game going with Krzyzewski. Got ahead of him, 2 balls, no balls and 2 strikes. Here's his 2-2 pitch. This one's lifted into shallow right field and falling fast. And a great over-the-shoulder catch is not able. He could not hold on to the second baseman. Novak could not hold on to the ball. It was blocked by him on the slide as he tried to make the catch between Zachman, the right fielder. Yost also there, the first baseman. Nobody could hold on to it. Novak had it in his glove for a moment, but could not keep it with the contact on the ground. And Krzyzewski's on board.
Yeah, Zachman coming in, Yost going out, and Novak just split the difference and tried to make a play and sped in there. And he had to sort of catch up to that, and that enabled the ball to drop in there for a leadoff single. And they will run to Krzyzewski this season, 41 of 42 stolen base attempts.
Decent leadoff at first as Noah Regal stands in. Myers, the third baseman, again up on the grass. Randy Rutkowski, we talked to you about it. There's a late pickoff with Krzyzewski already back standing on the bag. But Randy Rutkowski said, look, this is how we play the game. We move runners to get guys in scoring position. He is the veteran coach at the third base box. The pitch to the plate is lifted straight back and behind home plate and out of play. Gavin Richard that takes the mask off, gives it a chase, and finds it will be in the seats. So Everett again works ahead of the batter. Regal not showing any sign of a bunt on pitch number 1. Runner at first base, nobody out. Top half of the first inning, 2A baseball state championship. The Southern Columbia Tigers taking on the Mercyhurst Prep Lakers. And Levi Everett with the pickoff attempt, and Krzyzewski dives back into first.
It's interesting to mention, too, that if Everett gets in any kind of jam, Caden Hopper is available to pitch today because he only threw 71 pitches in the semifinal on Monday. So that shorter rest where he normally would not be if he had gone over 75 pitches, he's available full today.
Krzyzewski takes off. The pitch to plate is outside. A throw down to second base is not in time. Moment of pause there. Southern Columbia, I think, thought they had the tag down. The umpire says no, the stolen base is good. Krzyzewski moves up to second base. So with a runner now in scoring position here in the top half of the first, and Regal at the plate.
This is an important at-bat early in this game, too. You've got to get Regal here because Spencer next. That's going to be a matchup we may see 3 times today, and that's going to be a cat-and-mouse game all day long.
Pitch to the plate was called a strike, so it's no balls and 2 strikes. Here's a breaking ball that's up high. Regal lays off. No balls and 2 strikes. Regal, a .394 hitter on the season. Does have 29 RBIs and a runner in scoring position in Krzyzewski, and he's got a good-sized lead as the second baseman Novak cheating behind him, playing almost straight up the middle. Big hole in the right side as a result for Regal. Pitch to plate, breaking ball, check, swing, and it goes right into the Southern Columbia dugout on the first base side. So it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to senior Noah Regal. Takes a couple looks back to second, comes with his pitch, fouled straight back, and again, Mercyhurst Prep making effort work here in this first inning. Krzyzewski fouled off a couple of pitches. Now Regal doing the same.
They did this against Neshannock in the semifinal as well. And Ryan Cameron, the starter for the Lancers, he never looked like he was not capable of going the distance in that game, but because of that, it never looked like he was fully comfortable either. They had to pull him and go to relief pitching, and then it ended up working out in Mercier's favor anyway. But they'll do this. They're annoying at the plate.
This one ripped into left center field, and center fielder Braden Andrews will make the catch in left center, and Krzyzewski can go nowhere. He has to stay put at first base.
A good throw there to prevent Krzyzewski from going anywhere. Now here's the matchup, though, and We asked Levi Everett before the game how you're going to pitch to Spencer, because anything you hang over the plate, he can put it. And yes, it is 325 down the left field line. It was only 315 at Slippery Rock. He would have cleared this wall. That is how far and high that ball was hit on Monday.
His third home run of the season. Again, runner in scoring position now at 1 out for Spencer. Everett takes a look back, comes to plate with a curveball, but it's way up high, and Spencer lays off.
Yeah, said he was going to try to go around him a little bit and maybe get Spencer to chase. He's a very disciplined player. Always draws across when he's at the plate, too. It's an interesting thing. He's a very religious young man, and he always, before every pitch, draws across at the plate.
Interesting that the shortstop, Caden Hopper, now kind of cheating a little bit towards the middle as well. Second baseman Novak is up the middle, trying to keep the runner close, but Hopper, the shortstop, is cheating that way as well. So there's a hole on both sides of the infield right now for Spencer. 1 ball, no strikes as Everett takes a look back. This one is looped down the right field line, but slicing foul and out of play. So 1 ball and 1 strike now to Hunter Spencer.
Took an 0-1 pitch on Monday for the only run of that game. And he said as soon as Denny Joseph, the Neshannock pitcher, it left his hands, he could tell where it was going to break, and he knew he was sitting right on it.
1-1 pitch coming from Everett. Takes a long look and now a step away as Spencer will call timeout. I'm not sure if Spencer called a timeout or if Gavin Richard, the catcher, called the timeout. It was a long look in from Everett. Again, the second baseman, Novak and Hopper, kind of jockeying with position. Novak is behind the bag, but then as the pitch starts to come in, he moves back over to his left to fill that second base hole. 1-1 pitch is up high. It's 2-1 to Spencer.
Yeah, he's trying to get Spencer to swing and miss at something, and that breaking ball is not dropping in the zone. And good for Everett, because if it does, that ball is getting hit. There's going to be contact on it. He's leaving it up in the zone, and Spencer's smart enough to not chase it.
2 balls and a strike to Spencer. This one is right there for a called strike, too. Spencer taken all the way. Not sure if Spencer thought he was going to get something different. Wasn't expecting the fastball, but he got it. It counts even. 325 down the left field line, 320 down the right field line here at Lebrano Park. 399 to straightaway center field. 2-2 to Spencer. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Spencer goes down swinging. Big strikeout for Everett.
Yeah, I'm going to pitch around him, but here I go on the last 2 pitches at the at-bat, right down the pike with the heat.
Well, Eric mentioned it, the fastball for Everett, mid-80s. And again, you say that with what they've been clocked at. And there's pitch clocks that can measure different things. But the adrenaline that kicks in a state championship game, trying to get the 3-hole hitter with a runner in scoring position, might be a little bit different as Hunter Cray now steps into the plate. The first pitch to him is lifted foul and out of play. I'm going to correct myself. Cameron Oresco, the batter at the plate for the Lakers, fouling it out of play. Oresco, a 500 hitter on the season. Krzyzewski takes off. The pitch is up high. The throw down for third gets away from Myers, but good job by Caden Hopper, the shortstop, there to catch the deflection. Krzyzewski moves up to third base on the stolen base. He's 90 feet away from trying to get Mercyhurst Prep on top first.
Now, if Everett gets out of this, there's 2 plays right there that were paramount to keeping the runner on base. Number 1, the play in center field by Andrews, the good throw-in to keep him from going from second to third, and then the good backup right there by Hopper to make sure that ball didn't skip into the outfield. Otherwise, Krzyzewski's home, and it's 1-0.
Oresco with 21 RBIs on the season. To be specific, he's hitting .477 on the year. It's slightly below 500. This one chopped towards third. Going to be a tough play for the third baseman. Myers, he charges and throws in first base in time, and Southern Columbia gets out of any further damage. For the Lakers in the top of the first. 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Mercyhurst Prep does not score. The Southern Columbia Tigers will bat for the first time when we're back at Lebrano Park on the PIAA Radio Network.
Are you having trouble saving to buy a home? The Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency offers down payment and closing cost assistance. Learn more at phfa.org or just Google PHFA and find out how you can buy a new home.
Today's PIAA Radio Network broadcast is brought to you by Wayne Bank, your hometown bank proudly serving communities across Pennsylvania for more than 150 years. Just like our local student athletes, Wayne Bank believes in hard work, teamwork, and commitment to excellence. From Friday night lights to championship moments, Wayne Bank is proud to support the schools, families, and communities that make scholastic sports so special. Wayne Bank, every day better, member FDIC.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
To LeBron Park, you're listening to the PIAA Baseball Championships alongside Eric Thomas. My name is Bob McCool as Southern Columbia gets out of any trouble in the top half of the first inning. And now the Tigers are at the plate. This is the lineup for head coach Mike Myers. Braden Andrews leads off. He's the center fielder. Batting in the 2-hole is Caden Hopper. Batting third is Cole Myers, who made the fine defensive play to finish off the top half of the first inning. Andrew Yost, the first baseman, bats cleanup. Aiden Hockenbrock will bat in the 5-hole. Batting sixth is the right fielder Andrew Novak. Batting seventh is the designated hitter Ethan Mikowski. Batting in the 8th spot is right fielder Caden Zachman. And batting ninth is the catcher Gavin Richard. And that lineup facing right-hander Brady Rice for the Lakers.
Brady Rice, who hasn't started a game since May 21st against Wilmington. He got a no decision in that game. 5 1/3, 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 were earned. He did walk 5 and struck out 6. Hunter Cray's been the man for this rotation this season, and now you've got to tap into Rice as a starter. But he does have good stuff. His fastball, mid-80s. He can also throw a nice changeup and a slider if he needs to go to it. Really has a 4-pitch array, and it's going to be important for him, like we said about his counterpart Everett, to get ahead in the counts and stay in front of these batters, especially when you haven't pitched. It's almost a month since you've started a game, and I know you can pitch in relief. That's completely different than when you have to take the bump as a starter.
So Braden Andrews, who bats out of the left-handed batter's box as he takes the first pitch from Rice, and it's there for a called strike. Andrews hitting .362 on the season. Outstanding football player for Jim Ross' Southern Columbia team that won another state title in the fall. And this one's way inside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Andrews. The 15th state title for Southern Columbia football field. They've won 1 state baseball championship. That was back in 2000. And this one tapped back towards the middle. Krzyzewski will get his first opportunity, and he cannot handle it as he gets it by him, and Andrews is safe at first base.
Bob, that's his first error since April 24th. I mean, he's fielding at a .970 percentage, and that just does not happen at short. He is as reliable as it gets.
So Andrews, and you know you're going to have to pay attention to him at first base as he takes his lead, and Caden Hopper will step into the batter's box. And a pickoff attempt, and Andrews just dives back in. Quick moves and quick feet for Rice to get Andrews diving back in. Hopper hitting at .508 on the season. And the pitch to him is a breaking ball that's over in the outside corner for a called strike 1. Mike Finney calling the balls and strikes in this 2A championship game. Jose Bernier is at first base. Chris Lazzi at second, and Marvin Dowdy is down the third base line. Rice, another pickoff attempt, and it gets away. It goes down the first base line, and Andrews will get the opportunity to move up to second base. That'll be a second error on the play against in the inning against the Lakers.
Yeah, a team that just does not make many errors and has not had many in the postseason, and we haven't even had a full second at bat by anybody. I mean, they've only had 2 errors in the entire PIAA tournament. They've got 2 here in the bottom of the first.
And that quickly now Southern Columbia has a runner in scoring position in the bottom of the first. Mercyhurst Prep did the same but was not able to get him around. No balls and a strike, still the count to Hopper. Pitch to the plate, slap down the first base line, but right to the first baseman, Jack Stoker, who's going to step on the bag at first. It does allow Andrews to move up to third base.
I was thinking maybe do you bunt there, but that works just as well to get the runner over to third.
The defense for the Lakers, Mike Schloss is in left field, Walker Ashton in center, Noel Regal is in right, Jack Stoker, who just made that play at first base, Cameron Oresco at second, Zach Krzyzewski, as we talked about, is at shortstop, Hayden Spencer at third, and Jack Natemeyer is behind the plate. So Andrews now 90 feet away from trying to get Southern Columbia on the board first with Cole Myers at the plate. Right-handed hitter crowds the plate, takes the first pitch over for a called strike.
Dangerous hitter here in this Southern lineup. 9 RBI the last 7 games. Good soccer player as well. And he's had himself a very busy PIAA tournament. 6 hits and 5 ribbies.
And this 0-1 pitch to him is on the outside corner, and Rice quickly gets ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. 25 RBIs on the season for Myers, second best behind the guy in the on-deck circle in Andrew Yost. And a breaking ball back through the middle and into center field for a base hit. Andrews will come across with the game's first run. Southern Columbia on the board first.
Hot bat stays hot. Said it. That's now RBI number 6 and hit number 7 in this tournament alone, and 10 RBI in the last 8 games.
So the aforementioned Andrew Yost, as we said, who leads them in RBIs on the year, now steps up with a runner at first base and 1 out. Yost, a .379 hitter on the year, another in the left-handed box for Southern Columbia. And the first pitch to Yost is there for a called strike. So Rice is throwing strikes. But the defense leaving Mercyhurst Prep behind the 8 ball a little bit. Another pickoff attempt. This time it hit the runner. Myers diving back in. The ball hit him in the backside. So fortunate for Mercyhurst Prep, it doesn't go any further. The error on the ground ball and then the error on the pickoff attempt put Andrews in scoring position. Southern Columbia brings him home. 1-0 Tigers with a man on first and 1 out. Pitch to the plate. Breaking ball is there for a called strike. Snowballs and 2 strikes to Yost.
It's a good pitch that time by Rice. Important at bat. Get some confidence here. Get a second out. Start showing that you are very much capable of pitching this state title game. I know it's been tough. Again, almost a month since he's had to prepare to start.
0-2 pitch is in the dirt. Good block by the catcher, Nate Meyer. Make sure that Myers cannot move up. It gave you the dimensions down the line in the straightaway center field. It's 399. It's 384 to the left center field power alley. 375 to the right center field power alley. And that short porch in right field with the big high fence protecting it. Burner takes off, and the pitch is swung on and fouled straight back. So Myers will have to return to first base, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Andrew Yost.
Shout out to the guys that are sitting in the top row out there in right field. Just sit anywhere in this stadium, and they chose to go there.
Yeah. The Bob Uecker seats. As Myers takes his lead off of first. Got a high vantage point, I'll say that, way up top. Pitch to plate, another foul ball by Myers. So both teams keeping themselves alive with the foul balls in this first inning. And to the pitcher's credit, they're throwing strikes. To the hitter's credit, they're keeping themselves alive.
I would not want to play right field in this stadium because of that wall. That would just play mind games with me all day long. I was not a very good outfielder anyway. I was more of an infield guy.
This one ripped into right field, but it's hooked foul. Myers hit it hard, but hit it just foul. Excuse me, Yost hit it hard and hit it foul. Myers has to return to first base.
You put the beefy boys on the corner infield spots, Bob. At least in my day you did.
Yost with 10 extra base hits on the year, 7 of them doubles, 3 of them home runs. Center fielder Walker Ashton takes a couple of steps back as this one's grounded in right field, into right field for a base hit. Myers will round second. He'll get to third. The throw gets away from the third baseman. That's going to allow Myers to move up and come across with run number 2.
Just uncharacteristic baseball by this Mercyhurst Prep team in this bottom of the first. Again, 2 errors in the entire PIAA tournament. You can count on 2 hands pretty much how many they've had in the last month, if that. And we're going to get a conversation here real quick, I think, with,
I think Randy Durkowski, the head coach for Mercyhurst Prep, I don't know, this is a conversation with Ben Rice as much with his team. Like, this is a moment of, hey, boys, this is not us. Let's settle down here a little bit.
Got to calm down.
The throw from Regal really should have been cut off, but it went all the way to third. He had no chance to get Myers at third base, and then the ball bounced away from the third baseman, Hayden Spencer, and rolled into foul territory. So that allowed Myers to get up and score on the play, and it allows Yost to get to second base. There's no RBI on the play on the third error in the inning for Mercyhurst Prep. They haven't put that third error on the board yet, but should be 3. But it was a base hit for Yost. He's at second base now with still only 1 out in the inning. Batter will be Aiden Hockenbrock for Southern Columbia after the conversation on the mound is over. Hockenbrock a .412 average on the season. He's now got a runner in scoring position. He's third for the Tigers on the season in RBIs with 22. As Yost takes his lead off of second with still 1 out here in the bottom of the first. 2 runs across for Southern Columbia. Rice's pitch to the plate, curveball to start it, and it's there for a called strike. Seven innings of baseball in high school variety. Bottom half of the first, and Southern Columbia strikes first. Rice takes a look back at second. Yost with a good size lead. His pitch to the plate is a bit low, and it gets away from the catcher, Nate Meyer, and that'll allow Yost to move up to third base. Sure if they'll call that a wild pitch or a pass ball. It wasn't very far off the plate. Nate Meyer tried to backhand it. It hit in the mitt and then trickled out and rolled away far enough to allow Yost to move up to third base. There's still only 1 out in the inning. So now the infield moves up for Mercyhurst Prep, trying to cut off another run at the plate. And the pitch, line right back to the pitcher, caught by Rice, and now he has a man hung up at third. Oh, I thought it was, my apologies, it was a one hopper back to Rice. He looked the runner back and then made the play to first base. I thought he caught that in the air. He did not. So the play at first base is recorded for out number 2 as Hockenbrock is retired. Yost has to stay put at third.
Yeah, that took a really light skim off the grass and right up to Rice. What a great play by Rice to get off the mound. And then an excellent job to look back the runner at third quickly and then fire over to first.
Andrew Novak, the hitter, the first pitch to him is way inside for a ball. First time that Rice has fallen behind a hitter here in this first inning, with Yost dancing off of third base, trying to get the opportunity. If a ball gets away from the catcher in any way, he can score. A 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball beat in front of the plate, and Nate Meyer, the catcher, gets out in time and makes the throw in time to first base to retire Southern Columbia. But the Tigers do strike first. They put 2 runs across. They did it on 2 hits, and there were either 2 or 3 errors in the inning, and 1 man left through 1. It is Southern Columbia 2, Mercyhurst Prep nothing in the PIAA 2A Baseball Championship.
Together, we bring more. Celebrate the milestones, big and small, in life, from your first state championship win to a family get-together. And make them more meaningful with beef. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for beef recipe inspirations and more.
Be prepared with CHIP, free or low-cost healthcare for Pennsylvania kids and teens. From checkups to unexpected bumps and bruises and everything in between, CHIP has you covered. Don't wait until you need it. Be prepared with CHIP. Because every kid deserves quality healthcare and every parent deserves peace of mind knowing their kids are covered. CHIP, free or low-cost healthcare for kids and teens under age 19. Learn more at chipcoverspakids.com.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Welcome back to Penn State University. 1 inning in the book, and the Southern Columbia Tigers with a 2-0 lead. So it would appear that there were only 2 official errors in that first inning charged to Mercyhurst Prep, but doesn't matter for Southern Columbia. They got 2 runs out of it. And so now the Lakers will try and get it back as they come to the plate here in the bottom half of the second inning. Facing Southern Columbia, junior pitcher Levi Everett. Was able to work himself out of a little early trouble in the first. And his first pitch of the second is lifted into right field by Hunter Craig. Caden Zachman going to give it a run, and he'll make the catch in foul territory. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the second for Southern Columbia.
Just the way you want to start it. If you're Everett, got run support, come back, get a run on an out on 1 pitch. This is a part of the lineup that he has to feel pretty confident going against, too. The Thunder in this lineup is at the very top. And we mentioned Spencer and Krzyzewski and those guys, but Everett's got to like his chances against the bottom here.
And the first pitch to Jack Stoker, batting in the 6-hole for Mercyhurst Prep, is there for a called strike. So Everett, as he did in the first, working ahead here in the second. His 0-1 pitch is lift line right at the first baseman, Andrew Yost. And this time on 2 pitches. He gets out number 2 here in the second. So an economy of pitches so far, and that's an important component in the high school game, because it's an important component of anything, but in the high school game, a limit to how many pitches a pitcher can throw. And right now, Everett cruising here in the second inning as Jack Natemeyer is at the plate. He takes one for a ball, just a bit low. Natemeyer made a nice defensive play, getting out from his catcher position to make the final out in the bottom of the first inning. Takes one there for a called strike at the letters. It's 1-1. Breeze seems to have settled down here in this second inning. So curveball to Natemeyer is there again for a called strike 2. Everett 1 strike away from getting out of anything here in the second. With a 1-ball and 2 strike count on Jack Natemeyer. And he misses just outside. Good take by Natemeyer. It's 2-2. Natemeyer, the 10th grader. Standing in the right-hand batter's box with the 2-2 pitch coming to him. This one is foul down the right field side and out of play.
The other thing, too, limit the amount of chances that you have to go against the top of that order. If you can make these 1, 2, 3 innings, still not going to have to go through all 3 of those guys at the top to lead off the next inning.
Slaps this one down the first base line and in foul play. Randy Durkowski, the veteran head coach for Mercyhurst Prep, 25 seasons, 380 and 140 his record. He's in the third base box. RJ Niskowski in the first base box for the Lakers. Looking for some action on the bases with 2 outs here in the top of the second. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Natemeyer. Fouls another one out of play. Just kind of leaving the bat out there, just fouling one away and looking for something better, hoping for something better on the next pitch. Defense plays him pretty well straight away. 2-2 pitch. Slaps this one down the first right field side, right side, and Andrew Yost, the first baseman, ranging to his right, has his pitcher Levi Everett covering for the third and final out for Mercyhurst Prep in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're through 1.5 at Southern Columbia 2. Mercyhurst Prep nothing on the PIAA Radio Network.
Keep up with your team's games this season, no matter where you are, with Game Changer. Game Changer, the #1 scorekeeping app for baseball and softball, is thrilled to be the exclusive scorekeeping, pitch count, and team management app for PIAA baseball and softball. Download the Game Changer app today or visit gc.com to learn more about Game Changer.
The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA promote the highest ideals of good sportsmanship in interscholastic athletics. Always remember to respect student athletes, coaches, contest officials, and game administration to help promote a safe and positive game environment. Together, we can foster a community of good sportsmanship.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
The 7th appearance in the PIAA baseball playoffs for Southern Columbia. They're 12-5 all time. As I mentioned, they won 1 title. It was back in 2000. The 1A title. They beat Sharpsville in that state championship. Tigers went 15-5 a year ago, lost in the District 4 semifinals to South Williamsport. In 2025, they beat the District 9 champion Monotone 10-1 in the opening round of state playoffs. Then the District 11 champion Marion Catholic won that one 5-3. And then in the semifinals on Monday, they beat the District 3 champion Halifax 2-0. So Southern Columbia, the runner-up in District 4, they lost to South Williamsport in the district championship game, but they worked their way through 3 different district champions to get to the state final, and they're taking on another one in the District 10 champion Mercyhurst Prep Lakers here this morning, with Southern Columbia on top 2-0 as they come to plate here in the bottom half of inning number 2. Ethan Mikowski, Caden Zachman, and Gavin Richard due up for the Tigers. That is 7, 8, and 9 in head coach Mike Myers' lineup. Myers in his 12th season running the program for Southern Columbia, looking for win number 197 if he could get a W here today in this state title. And the first pitch from Rice is a bit up and away for Mikowski. The designated hitter takes one for a ball. Another left-handed hitter takes this one inside. It's ball 2. They appeal as to whether or not he swung, and he did not. Marvin Dowdy, the third base umpire, says nope.
This is a Southern team hitting .344 in this tournament coming into play today. 19 left on base. That was not a factor the first time up, though.
Another one misses away. So Rice, who threw a lot of strikes in inning number 1, gets behind the leadoff hitter Mikowski here. 3 balls and no strikes. Lead off to second. Mikowski, the DH, is hitting for the pitcher, Levi Everett. High school baseball, that is not necessarily the case. You can hit for anyone in the lineup. Does not have to be the pitcher. But it is in both cases today for both Mercyhurst Prep and Southern Columbia, as Mikowski takes 4 straight pitches out of the zone. And Southern Columbia, for the second straight inning, has a leadoff base runner. First walk surrendered by Rice. Aiden Zachman will now bat for Southern Columbia. Junior right fielder hitting .326, batting in the 8 hole. And again, Hunter Hayden Spencer, the third baseman, up in the grass for Mercyhurst, is expecting a bunt. He sees that bunt. It's popped foul straight back behind home plate and off the backstop. So Mercyhurst Prep, as we talked about, these two teams play very similar, very fundamentally small ball type of baseball. They'll move runners along with a bunt, and that's what Mercyhurst Prep is expecting from Southern Columbia. It's what it's what Zachman showed in the first pitch. Spencer's even tighter, and he again shows bunt, but it's way outside. Good job by Nate Meyer to slide across and make the catch. Keep Mikowski at first base. Another thing, if you're not familiar with a high school game that the teams can use, is a courtesy runner. Use it for the pitcher, neither one of whom is batting, so that's out of the equation. Use it for the catcher as well. As the pitches again shows bunt, but again Zachman pulls the bat back, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike now. And now time is called as catcher Nate Meyer wants to have a conversation with Rice.
And I think you're seeing, that's an excellent point about the courtesy runner. I think you're seeing guys that are specializing in pitching. There's a lot of schools that where the pitchers typically don't hit. Maybe they do just kind of on an off day if they're not, throwing or anything like that. But they specialize in pitching, and you've got guys that specialize in running. There is a role for everybody who's on the roster, and sometimes it's literally just get from first to second, get from third to home, whatever.
Zachman gets the bunt down. It's a beauty down the first base line. Stoker, the first baseman, has only 1 play, and he picks it up and tags Zachman out as he tries to slide into first base. He is retired, but the bunt is successful. Mikowski moves up into scoring position at second base with 1 out.
He laid it down perfectly. No play at second base. Right up the first base line. Either line would have been good there because there wouldn't have been a play really at second. Third base probably would have been a tougher play at first, but that worked out perfectly. And you can do that with a 2-0 lead. You can do that really anytime. But 2-0 lead, you can take some chances, get the runner over. A third run at this point, I think, is huge for Southern.
Gavin Richard, the batter, he lines this one into left center field, and making a nice running catch is Mike Schloss. Off the bat, it looked like it might find gap, but Schloss had a different idea. He makes the catch. Mikowski has to scramble back to second base.
Was thinking, too, you look at the depth of this field, 325 down the line in left, 320 in right, 399 to dead center. And these are dimensions that guys are not used to playing either. So this is the full minor league / Big Ten field, so you've got to be aware that you might have more field to cover. You see these guys in the outfield that are basically playing the depth of a high school field. that means anything over their head is chaos if somebody can reach that point.
Top of the order, and Braden Andrews at the plate. It's over for a called strike. Andrews got Southern Columbia started in the first inning by getting on board on an error, and now eventually coming around to score the first run of the game. Mikowski, the runner at second base, 2 outs, bottom half of the second inning. And Andrews at the plate with no balls and a strike on the count. Beats this one foul and down the first base line. I think that's a great point because you look at the outfielders here, and obviously we can see it, but they're what you think initially when you look at it is, boy, they're shallow in the outfield, but no, they're not. It's just that the depth is very much this is big boy dimensions with 399 to straightaway center field.
Even Slippery Rock on Monday for Mercyhurst, it was only 315 down the line. That 10 more feet in the corner is a big difference in left field.
And so as an outfielder, you kind of have to make that adjustment to realize, look, this is where I should be. It's not based on the dimensions of the field, but where these guys can hit. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes as Andrews takes one up and away. 1-2 pitch is lined into right field and falling fast. Is going to fall for a base hit. Mikowski getting waved around. The throw to the plate is not in time. It's 3-0 Southern Columbia, and on the throw home, Andrews will move up to second base.
That's what we're talking about. I mean, that little slight push into right field is deep enough to get a guy from second to home on this field. That's a heads-up job by the third base coach for Southern to send him. Again, you can take those chances. You don't want to be the third out at the plate. We know that. But when you've got that kind of speed and base awareness and you know the depth of this field and where that ball's hit, you can send that guy from second.
So
excellent job.
On the throw home by Regal, Andrews moves up to second, so now he's in scoring position. As the ball pitched the plate by Hopper's hit to short, Krzyzewski will make the play in time for out number 3 here in the second. But more damage for the Tigers. They put a run across. They do it on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left. We are through 2 at Penn State University. Southern Columbia 3. Mercyhurst Prep nothing as we go to break here on the PIAA Radio Network.
Becoming a champion is an incredible accomplishment, especially at a level as competitive as the PIAA. That's why the Faulkner Automotive Group proudly salutes the student athletes and their families for making it this far. When it's time to upgrade your vehicle, choose any of the 31 Faulkner dealerships in Philadelphia, Lancaster, Bethlehem, Harrisburg, or Mechanicsburg. You'll find award-winning teams doing business the right way and a fast and easy buying experience. Compare low prices on thousands of vehicles and find the one that's perfect for you. Faulkner, to be sure.
The PIAA Radio Network is brought to you by Wayne Bank, your hometown bank proudly serving communities across Pennsylvania for more than 150 years.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Some work to do for the Lakers. They trail Southern Columbia 3-0 as Mercyhurst Prep comes to the plate here at the top of the third, making their 13th appearance in the PIAA playoffs. They're 11-12 all time, looking for their first state title as well. They got to the semifinals a year ago before they lost to Freedom Area 2-0. Mercyhurst Prep beat Sagertown in the District 10 championship game 9-1. Then worked their way through District 7 to get to the state championship. They beat the 3 seed out of District 7, Riverview, in round number 1 4-0. Then they beat the District 7 runner-up Fort Cherry 14-5. And as Eric talked about, that 1-0 victory over District 7 champion Neshannock to get them here to this state final. Walker Ashton leading off for Mercyhurst Prep here in inning number 3. And he takes the first pitch from Levi Everett for a called strike 1. Ashton, right-handed hitter. 0-1 pitch. Late swing and a miss since no balls and 2 strikes.
Talk about efficiency here. Third inning, you like to be right around that 10 pitch per inning mark. Everett just threw his 32nd.
And his 33rd is a curveball that's a bit low, and it's 1-2.
I go back to the point too, Bob, that you work efficiently and you limit the amount of times that the better hitters you have to face. They have not even gone through their lineup once as Mercyhurst.
Ashton in the 8-hole hitter. Mike Schloss, the 9-hitter, is in the on-deck circle. And then the top of the order coming to the plate here. Krzyzewski in the third batter due up here in this third inning.
That's exactly how you want it. Limit the amount of times. I mean, you get only maybe 2 at-bats, maybe 3. Of course, it plays into the role that might be a bottom of the 6th situation for you, but
1-2 pitches outside. It's 2-2.
I think you want to try if you can work efficiently enough to avoid those hitters. They can't do any damage if they have limited amount of times at the plate.
286 hitter is Ashton. He fouls this one out of play. Up and over and then falling into the Southern Columbia dugout off the safety fence that spans the length of Lebrano Park.
These guys are having a ball in the dugouts. They don't get to be in these much.
Great opportunity to play in a great, not only in a great setting, but in a state championship as well here at Penn State. This one's way up and away, and it's 3-2. Everett has not walked the batter as of yet, but he runs to a 3-2 count. I think that's the first 3-ball count he's had on a hitter as well in this game. This one's fouled down the first base line as Ashton stays alive. Ashton, 10th grader. Everett takes a look at his catcher, Gavin Richer, when he wants to come here with 3-2. And he catches the outside corner for a call, strike 3. Ashton was about to drop the bat and head to first base, but the home plate umpire, Mike Finney, had a different idea, and he rings him up.
It's a great pitch. Again, just Everett, even though he falls behind in the count, just doesn't seem like he's out of sorts. He's not getting rattled by any of these hitters so far.
Mike Schloss now due up here with a 1 out in the inning. Shows bunt, drops it down. It's going to have to be Everett. He'll make the play. He'll make the throw, and plenty of time for out number 2. And another 1 pitch out recorded by Everett. And now that rotates the lineup around to the top to Krzyzewski, who got a base hit his first time up. A lone hit for Mercyhurst Prep, and it was a little bleeder in the right field. It kind of just found green grass. But unfortunately for Mercyhurst Prep, they could not get Krzyzewski around. He stopped at third after a couple of stolen bases. First pitch to him here is lined in the right side, and Novak cannot make the diving catch. It'll trickle into center field, and Krzyzewski has himself his second base hit.
Just sharply hit, and an excellent job. Novak had no choice but to try to dive after that the way that he did. That was going to be a tough play, even if he would have been able to make the stab to get up and fire to first with the speed that Krzyzewski has. That kid just has all-world talent, Krzyzewski. I mean, he covers so much range. It's short. He's a good hitter. He's an excellent base runner. Complete package. Pitt Bradford's getting a really special player.
Again, he stole 2 bases last time he was on. Everett, thinking just that, goes with a pickoff attempt before his first pitch to Noah Regal. Flew out to center field in his first plate appearance. And another pickoff attempt right back by Everett. Krzyzewski had barely taken a lead off of first base, excuse me. Andrew Yost, the first baseman, holding him on. And the pitch to plate is driven into center field. Andrews, the center fielder, going back, still going back, and he will not get there as it one-hops over the fence. It will be a ground rule double, and that is a break for Southern Columbia. Because with Krzyzewski's speed, he was going to score easily on the play. He's going to have to go back to third base as it hopped over the fence for a ground rule double.
Yeah, big time break there. And that we were just talking about the depth of this ballpark and how much ground you have to cover. How about how far back Andrews has to drift to get that ball? He never got a good enough read on it to go make a play, and it was hit to the deepest part of the park without actually going over the fence. And you're right, if that is not over the fence, that might actually end up being an inside the park home run too.
So instead, Krzyzewski's at third, Regal's at second. Still a big spot here with Hunter Spencer at the plate. Hayden Spencer, excuse me. And the first pitch to him is over for a called strike 1.
I'll go ahead and say it. He's looking at the Kia in left. There's a gray Kia that's sitting on a platform in left. Part of a sponsorship here at the park. He's looking at that passenger side window.
And he fouls that one straight back. I was going to ask you if that was your special parking space before we got here today. Then I realized the sign underneath it probably had something to do with it.
But I don't have that kind of pull anymore.
Again, it's 3:25 down the line here at LeBron Park, but then it juts out to left center field. It's 3:84 under the scoreboard in left center.
My old space when I covered the football program here was at the Ag building. That's what they thought of me. They were like, just go over there with the Ag.
So Spencer looking for a golden opportunity here for Mercyhurst Prep with 2 runners on, 2 outs. No balls and 2 strikes to the batter. And it's just outside for a ball. I mean, this is a prime spot, theoretically, for Southern Columbia that they could pitch around Spencer, but it certainly doesn't look like they have any intentions of that. They jumped ahead of him, no balls and 2 strikes with a base open.
2 outs, you could force the force. Really, at 3 bags. Might not be a bad idea.
1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is lifted up down the right field line in foul territory. Yost, the first baseman, gives chase, and he makes the catch right by the tarp, and a big out is recorded as Everett gets out of any further damage. For Mercyhurst Prep in the third, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on board. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Southern Columbia still on top, 3-0.
Cornerstone Business Graphics is proud to be a preferred vendor of the PIAA and offer custom wearables, promotional items, signage, banners, and so much more. Cornerstone is also home to MarketLogo.com, your source for online school store needs. School stores are a great way to raise funds and promote school spirit. Cornerstone is your one stop for all your school's promotional gear. Check us out at cbizgraphics.com. It's Cornerstone Business Graphics.
Some see a high school football stadium. We see a place where Pennsylvanians come together as a community. The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA creating opportunities for student athletes to be seen across Pennsylvania.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Levi Everett works himself out of trouble in the third. Southern Columbia still on top 3-0 as the Tigers come to the plate here in inning number 3 alongside Eric Thomas. My name is Bob McCoy. You're listening to the PIAA Baseball State Championships here on the PIAA Radio Network. We brought you football, we brought you basketball, we bring you baseball and softball as well this weekend. And 3 games going on here today, 3 games tomorrow, and the same they're down the street at the softball park here at Penn State University, and you can hear all those games here on the PIAA Radio Network. Holt Myers will lead it off for Southern Columbia here in the third. Myers a big piece of that 2-run first inning for Southern Columbia. The base hit came around to score, driving in runner number 1 as well. First pitch to him here. He drops a bunt down the third base line. It'll trickle foul. So it's Myers, Andrew Yost, and Aiden Hockenbrock. The middle of the order for Mike Myers here for the Tigers in the third. And the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Myers a bit of a late swing there, and Rice jumps ahead. Brady Rice ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. This one he cannot get into chase as Myers lays off to make it a 1-ball and 2-strike count. This one lifted straight up and foul behind us. On our seat perched behind home plate. Here at this meticulously laid out field at Medler Field at LeBron Park. Home for the Penn State Nittany Lions during the Big Ten season. 1-2 pitch. Cannot get into chase. Good curveball. The Mercyhurst Prep fans thinking maybe he would chase. He did not. Pitch was outside. And it's 2-2. This one is lined into center field, but it's going to be right at Walker Ashton. The center fielder literally did not have to make a move. Out number 1.
Surprised, too, in this game. it's humid out. It's overcast, so the heat is sort of trapped between the cloud cover and the field here. I'm surprised we're not seeing the ball jump a little bit more. I mean, there's been some hard-hit balls. They've been on the ground, but I'm stunned that this isn't really like a hitter's paradise early on.
Andrew Yost fouls this one straight back. There's been a couple balls off the bat that I thought were going to be more trouble than they turned out to be.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
with the exception of Regal's rocket for the double last inning. Most of them have been caught or been no trouble. So it's no balls and a strike to Yost, who singled his first time up. And it's up and away. No runs on 3 hits and 3 errors committed by Mercyhurst Prep so far in this game. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors for Southern Columbia, with Yost sitting in a 1 ball and 1 strike count. Left-handed hitting junior. Pitch is fouled down the third base line. And it almost hit 3 kids who were not paying attention.
2 teams are combined 6 for 22 at the plate early on in this game, but here's the stat that's blowing my mind. Southern obviously a little edge in runners in scoring position, but with 2 outs, they're combined 3 for 8.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Yost. That's up and away. It's 2-2. I was trying to figure out if those 3 kids were just thinking they were cool and like that ball's not going to hit me. And then the ball hit the seat behind them and they all jumped. So that's why I knew they weren't paying attention. They weren't being cool. They just weren't watching. It's 2-2. Beats this one fouled on the first base line. Rick Rutan coaching at first with Mike Myers, the head coach, at third for Southern Columbia.
It's an amazing park. We have so many incredible minor league facilities in this state. Wild Things Park out in Washington County. This one where you're at down in Reading where the R-Phils play.
This one lifted up down the third base line. Spencer, the third baseman, will give it chase, and he will make the catch, fall into his backside as he squeezes out number 2 here in the third.
Good play. Had to backpedal a little bit. Maybe slipped on that painted area where the Spikes logo is, but showing his range, the big guy at third base.
And I also think, to your point, Eric, it's cool that some of these facilities are letting these high school fields high school teams use the fields. First Energy Stadium in Reading was the home it's been the home for the Berks County Championship for a number of years, and there's a couple of district and state playoff games played there as well over the course of the season, as there have been in other places like Wild Wings Park. I think it's awesome that they do it. Coca-Cola Park in Allentown, they play high school baseball games on a regular season in the Allentown area. This one's outside to Aiden Hockenbrock, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to the 5-hole hitter who grounded out to first back to the pitcher his first time up. 1-1 pitch to him. Just misses outside. It's 2-1.
Some of these guys will play at nice stadiums in college, but this might be the biggest that they get to, the biggest stage they get to.
For sure. Is this 2-1 pitch is a breaking ball that catches the inside corner. Hockenbrock not thinking he was going to see something with movement on it and a 2-1 count. It catches the inside corner to make it 2-2. This one lined in the left field. Schloss with a long run. He's not going to get there, and it's over his head. He's going to roll all the way back to the fence. Hockenbrock around second. He's going to head to third, and he will get there without a throw. A 2-out triple for Aiden Hockenbrock.
Talked about the depth here. Shows up again, and there's another 2-out hit for Southern Columbia. That's their 3rd in this game. Correct myself, 2nd in this game.
11th extra base hit of the season for Hockenbrock. His first triple as Andrew Novak will bat. Runner in third, 2 outs. Novak grounded out. A little swinging bunt in his first time up. This one's down the third base line and into left field for a base hit. Another run will come across. Hockenbrock scores number 1. Throw to second base as he tries to take 2 and will as Novak slides in safely. It's 4-0 Southern Columbia on top.
What a piece of hitting that time by Novak. I mean, there's just that slight gap with Spencer, who even if he dives and makes the play, that's going to be a tough get up and throw home to get the runner at the plate. Heads up play by Hockenbrock and an excellent job to find that space, third base side, and get a double out of it.
Great hustle for Novak to get the double. He gets his 19th RBI of the season and his team a 4-0 lead as Ethan Mikowski, who walked his first time up, came around to score run number 3 for the Tigers. takes this one for a called strike. So another runner in scoring position for Southern Columbia with 2 outs, and 2 out damage here for the Tigers in this third inning.
3 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
This one tapped to right side of the infield towards the second baseman, Oresco. He'll make the throw to first in time, and that will do it for Southern Columbia in the third. But another run across. They do it on a couple of hits. There were no errors and 1 man left. We are through 3. It's now Southern Columbia 4. Mercyhurst Prep nothing on the PIAA Radio Network.
Get a head start on your career in exciting fields like science, communication, engineering, and medicine, along with tuition assistance in the Pennsylvania National Guard. To learn more about the Pennsylvania National Guard, check out Join PA Guard on Facebook and Instagram, or go to nationalguard.com/PA.
The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA, 2 community-focused organizations, are proud to be collaborating to provide Pennsylvanians free access to local high school sports broadcasts. To follow your schools, check your local TV and radio stations for coverage. Through the PAB and PIAA partnership, following Pennsylvania student athletes has never been easier.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
The deficit gets a little bit deeper for Mercyhurst Prep. They're now down 4-0 as the Lakers come to the plate here in inning number 4. They'll bring 4, 5, and 6 to the plate here in the 4th. That's Cameron Oresco, Hunter Cray, and Jack Stoker. Levi Everett got himself out of a jam, if you want to call it that, with a runner at third base and to start the first inning, and a jam again in the third with 2 outs. But unable to get anything across so far against him are the Lakers as they come to the plate here in the 4th. With 3 hits on the day, 2 of them coming in the last inning. But Everett able to get out of trouble with Spencer and getting him to foul out to his first baseman, Andrew Yost, to get out of damage in the third.
I thought the third run was huge for Everett. The way he's pitching, 4, I mean, I don't want to say it's insurmountable. I mean, we still got a long way to go in this game yet, at least 3 more at-bats for Mercyhurst. And they have the pop in their lineup to do it. But the way this young man is throwing right now, and a 4-0 lead, it is going to be a tall, tall task for Mercyhurst.
Oresco grounded out to third base his first time up, and the first pitch to him is a bit high for a ball. Well, you mentioned this with Coach Mike Myers. He also has his best pitcher, Caden Hopper, available if he needs him out of relief today.
Yep, 71 pitches on Monday, which means he can come back and throw today.
It's a heck of an ace to have in the bullpen if you need him in the state final. But that's the beauty. If you work it right, and you can make it work for you in terms of the number of pitches to be able to keep him available if you need him in the state final.
Tougher Monday to Thursday. Monday to Friday is fine. You don't have to worry at all about that. You'll see a lefty tomorrow from South Park, rather later today. That's phenomenal. Tomorrow, I beg your pardon, 1, 3, and 5 tomorrow. Cooper Hockendoner, I mean, there's no question he's going to throw. That was not out of the question, but Monday to Thursday makes it much, much tougher. That's why you need 2.
2-1 pitch is just a bit outside. It's 3-1 to Oresco, leading off here in the 4th.
Think about this, Bob. So this program for Southern has not been in the state tournament before this season since 2004. They had 4 pitchers named to the Heartland Athletic Conference Division III All-Stars in 2024, and 2 of them, Hopper and Everett, are still with the team 2 years later.
And it's a pretty underclassman-oriented lineup as well for Mike Myers. 3-1 pitch is lifted foul out of play, and the count is now full to Oresco. Everett has not walked a batter as of yet. It's the second batter in which he's been 3-2 on. It's one thing you don't want to do in this situation with a 4-run lead. And he winds and delivers his 3-2 pitch, which is up by ball 4, and Oresco does his job. He's on board. So Mercyhurst Prep failed to get a run across last inning with some 2-out damage. Now they're trying to get something going here to get this inning started with Oresco standing at first base and Hunter Cray, the designated hitter, at the plate. Cray flew out to right field his first time up.
I would think at any other point in the lineup, down 4-0, you may think about bunting, but not with Cray. He's too good of a hitter to take the bat out of his hands, but you never know. Coach Drukowski, he loves that small ball.
Cray, a 310 hitter on the season with 21 RBIs, 8 extra base hits, 6 of which are doubles. And the right fielder, Zachman, kind of cheating a little bit towards the line in right field, which opens up a little bit more of a gap in right center field. The first pitch bounces up there. Good play by Richard. Catches it on a bounce. Makes sure that Oresco has to stay put at first base on the first pitch to Hunter Cray. Not a huge lead off of first for Oresco. This one ripped down the third base line and just hooked foul. And I was just about to say that Hockenbrock was kind of cheating a little bit towards left center field as well. So if that ball was fair, Hockenbrock was going to have a long run. He's happy to jog after it and pick it up in foul territory instead. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike instead to Hunter Cray. As I mentioned, he's got 6 doubles on the year, 6 of his 8 extra base hits.
Hayden Spencer is warming up in the Mercyhurst prep bullpen. He would be the next guy with Cray unavailable.
1-1 pitches again, bounced up there. It's 2-1. So 2 pitches in this at bat for Cray have bounced up to him. So Everett just walked his first batter, and now he's behind Cray, 2-1. So if you're Cray, you got to kind of be sitting on something here, figuring that Everett's got to throw strikes with a 4-run lead. Pickoff attempt, and no problem for Oresco. As I said, doesn't have a huge lead at first. An open stance here for Hunter Cray from the right-hand batter's box. Everett from the stretch. This one is lifted down the first base line, but foul and out of play. His count is now 2-2. Local crowd on hand. Both these athletic programs very strong in a number of different sports, and fans travel with them. Pitch to this late swing and a miss, strike 3, as Cray tried to just hack at it, keep himself alive with a foul ball, but he comes up empty, and a big strikeout here for Everett for out number 1 here in the 4th. Third strikeout of the game for Everett. Brings Jack Stoker to the plate. Oresco with his lead off of first. Pitch back through the shortstop side. Hopper makes this tag at second for 1, and the relay in time for the double play. Hopper just stepped on the bag himself for out number 1. The relay to first in time, and that'll do it for Mercyhurst Prep in the 4th. For the Lakers, no runs, no hits, no errors, and ultimately nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It's 4-0 Southern Columbia on top.
Fans, you can have it in white, chocolate, strawberry, and practically any flavor you like. It's the beauty of milk, and no other drink quenches a king-size thirst like milk. After practices, reach beyond the colas and other drinks. Get your hands around a tall, cold glass of milk and enjoy. Whole milk, whole nutrition. The PIAA thanks the Allied Milk Producers of Pennsylvania for their support of the PIAA Championships.
Today's PIAA Radio Network broadcast is brought to you by Wayne Bank, your hometown bank proudly serving communities across Pennsylvania for more than 150 years. Just like our local student athletes, Wayne Bank believes in hard work, teamwork, and commitment to excellence. From Friday night lights to championship moments, Wayne Bank is proud to support the schools, families, and communities that make scholastic sports so special. Wayne Bank, every day better, member FDIC.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
We head to the bottom of the 4th. Southern Columbia in command so far in this 2A state championship game. The Tigers lead at 4-0 again, looking for their 2nd state title in program history, but it's been a while, as in 26 seasons since Southern Columbia won themselves a PIAA baseball championship. Trying to do what the football team was able to do in the fall with winning another state title. Southern Columbia looking to do the same here. And the Tigers will have Hayden Zachman, Gavin Richard, and Braden Andrews batting here in this 4th inning. That's 8, 9, and 1 in the lineup. And it is a pitching change for Mercyhurst Prep, As Eric said to you during the last inning, Hayden Spencer was warming up in the bullpen, and he is in now to pitch for Mercyhurst Prep.
Yeah, I was wondering what they were going to do with the pitching. I think very tough, and obviously the coaching staff knows their players better than we do, but very tough to ask Brady Rice to start for the first time since May 21st. Spencer has pitched in the postseason and does have a pretty good arm, so this is not a bad choice right now to go in 4-0, try to limit some damage, and then hope that your order can come to the plate and start getting some runs across and make this a tie game at some point.
So Spencer, who was at third, is now on the mound. Cameron Oresco, who was at second, moves to third, and Mike Menendo is now the second baseman for Mercyhurst Prep to get all the changes in. And the pitch to the plate is a called strike. It's 1-1 strike to Zachman, who was able to get a sacrifice bunt down his last time up. And this one he slaps down the right side. And the first baseman Stoker is going to make the play by himself in a race to the bag for out number 1 here in the fourth.
So Brady Rice, 3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, did not strike anybody out, faced 16 batters, gave up 2 extra base hits, and he threw 54 pitches, 36 of them for strikes. Not a terrible outing, but in this type of game, you've got to make the change really when you have to. I mean, it's do or die in this situation.
Spencer's 1-0 pitch is up and away, ball 2 to Gavin Richard, who flew out to left field his first time up. Again, top of the order, Braden Andrews in the on-deck circle for Southern Columbia. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Tigers on top 4-0. Two-0 pitch is up and away. It's 3-0. You know Richard are going to be taken here as he'll take a look down at his head coach Mike Myers in the third base coaching box. And it would have to be something special for him to go 3-0 here, and he does take. It's over for a called strike. Spencer in the season 4-0 on the mound. And his pitch is low and away. And Richard, the 9-hole hitter, draws the walk. And that flips the lineup around now to Andrews at the plate. He's been on base both times. Safe on an error his first time up, came around to score, singled and drove in a run his second time up. Now Mike Myers is going to have a conversation with Mike Finney. Looks like he's going to make a change, or maybe he's got his courtesy runner in because Richard, his catcher, is on the base path. So he will step out, and the courtesy runner, Cale Williams, will run for him. As I mentioned, in the high school game, you can use a courtesy runner. It's kind of a free substitution. He will run. He will not. But Richard will come back out as the catcher as Andrews bats, and Williams takes his lead off of first. Pitch, tries to drop a bunt down there. That was not a sacrifice attempt really for Andrews. He was looking at a drag bunt. Oresco, now playing at third, was up on the grass and charging when he saw Andrews drop the bat. And it's a foul instead. It's a failed attempt, so it's no balls and a strike to Andrews. A pitch off attempt, no problem for Williams to dive back in. There's a lot of people who don't like the courtesy runner in the high school game. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. I think it's a great thing because I think it keeps more kids involved.
Yeah, you're allowing some guys to have a specialty, and if they're a better runner, catcher, you've got to save the knees, and you're trying to promote the health and well-being of the players as much as you can, especially with pitchers. You're invested in the arm as a school or a program. You've got to make sure that they're protected. If they don't want to run, get a guy in there. I don't know that you do it for anybody else, but those two positions 100%.
1 ball and 1 strike. Another pickoff attempt. Williams dives back in. And the beauty of it for me as well, Eric, is the fact that, like I said, you got kids who are on the bench who have to stay focused on the game. Like, if you're going to go in there as a courtesy runner, you got to know what's going on. Swing and a miss, a late swing by Andrews, and he's behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. Like, you got to know, like, all right, we have a 4-run lead. You can't just go in there and not be paying attention to the situations of the game. So you got to stay focused on the game, and just keeps more people and more kids involved. Andrew chokes way up on the plate now, on the bat now, with 2 strikes on him. He chokes up a little bit to start.
We're forgetting the other part, the strategy of it here too. I mean, look at Spencer, how many times he's gone over to first base. He's worried about the runner over there.
Takes the lead. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Andrews. Pitch to the plate. Swing and a miss. Andrews, a very defensive swing his last 2 times, and Andrews heads back to the dugout as Spencer picks up his first strikeout.
That's the first time Southern Columbia has struck out today. Believe it or not.
So that will bring Caden Hopper to the plate. Hopper 0 for 2 so far today.
It was a good moment in the AAA semifinal on Monday with South Park. Cooper Hockendoner, the all-star lefty pitcher, got a base hit.
Pitch outside to Hopper. It's 1-0.
And
excuse me, it's on the outside corner for a called strike 1.
Typically they would look, he looks to the dugout to get a courtesy runner. And the South Park coaching staff had said, yeah, he likes courtesy runners. And he looked over at the dugout, and I told him, no.
Spencer this time steps off the plate, off the mound, so he does not make the pickoff attempt, just steps off. It's no balls and a strike to Hopper. Now he does make the pickoff attempt. So Hopper, a .508 batting average on the season, but he's been one of the few players so far in this Southern Columbia lineup who has not had an impact with a bat in his hand to this point. Pitch to plate here is way up and away. It's 1-1.
And just to go back to that point, too, Hockendoner scored from first base on an error, and he is one of the fastest players on the South Park team. So at that point, I know you never want to hear your coach tell you no, especially when you have that style or you're that type of player, but it ended up working out in that game.
1-1 pitch. Way up and away. It's 2-1. 7 of the 9 in the Southern Columbia lineup so far have reached the base paths. Hopper being one of the exceptions, at least to this point. This is way outside again. It's 3-1. When Spencer's missed, he's missed by quite a bit here in this at bat for Hopper. Grounded out to first his first time up. Ground out to short to finish the second inning in his second at bat. This one fouled straight back, and it's 3-2.
Sun creeping out now, and it's encompassing the home plate area too, so we're getting a little bit of a break in the clouds here.
Breeze picking up a bit as well, as the count is now full. Runner Williams will be able to get a lead off of first, but they'll pick off attempt instead. So with 3 balls and 2 strikes to the batter and 2 outs, Williams can get a running start. And it's way outside, ball 4. So the second walk of the inning, and Hopper is on board for the first time today. Puts 2 on with 2 outs, and Cole Myers at the plate.
I just don't know what Mercyhurst can do beyond Spencer in this contest. With Cray not being available, you've already used Rice. So they may have to ride Spencer here the rest of the way, and that means that he's going to be tasked with getting some outs and preventing any further damage done to this team. I mean, they do have, Krzyzewski has made 3 appearances, limited work. Oresko has 2. I know it's a little far away to think from that right now, but you've got 2 on, and this is a dire situation here for Mercyhurst. They cannot allow any other runs at this point. Southern's taken advantage of some errors. They've had great hitting, and they've gotten in the head of these Mercyhurst pitchers.
Pitch to Cole Myers is over for a called strike after the catcher, Nate Meyer, went out to have a conversation with Spencer on the mound. Maybe nothing more than, hey, we got 2 on, 2 outs, but let's get those strikes. The 2 guys are on. We're way of walks. And now they've got a man picked off and almost threw it into center field. Nice play by Krzyzewski, trying to sneak behind the runner at second base in Williams, who hesitated for a moment when Spencer spun. And by good throw, they may have been able to pick him off, but a throw a little bit high, and Krzyzewski, the shortstop, had to jump up in the air to keep it from going into center field. So it's No balls and a strike to Myers. Pitch to the plate is way outside. It's 1-1. Looks like it's the fastball for Spencer that he's just overthrown a bit. Missed way outside on a couple of occasions in this inning. On in relief of Brady Rice here in the 4th. And another step off. Williams, the runner at second, the courtesy runner for Richard, who walked. And another pitch way outside, and it's 2-1. Now a throw down from the catcher. And no problem for Williams to get back.
You know, if Myers can turn on one, there is a lot of room left field side. Schloss is playing way in on the line. They've basically shifted from left to right, closer to the right field side.
And again, a pitch, this time low, and it's 3 balls and a strike. So Myers is sitting in a great spot here as a hitter. He's got 11 extra base hits on the year, 6 of them doubles. He's got 2 on, 2 out, and a 3 ball and 1 strike count. And that's ball 4. So Spencer has now walked, the bases loaded. And this is a moment that Randy Rutkowski wants to talk about. Head coach from Mercyhurst Prep has seen his pitcher walk the bases loaded. Eric had made reference to it. This is a breaking point right now for Mercyhurst Prep. With a 4-0 deficit, Southern Columbia with their cleanup hitter Andrew Yost due up in a position to possibly break this thing wide open.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Let's see how the outfield will adjust after the mound conversation's over here. You typically don't see home plate umpire Finney is out there almost like he's strategizing with Mercyhurst. He went out for the whole conversation. But let's see how the outfield plays here too, because again, anything and we talked about depth earlier in this game. If Schloss is going to play way in on that left field line, and you've got a right-handed bat up there, now this is not going to be the case with Yost. He's a lefty. Are they going to push the right field line in a little bit? And if Yost pulls one, or if he can go the opposite way and bloop one over third base, there might be 3 runs on the board.
Yost, leader in RBIs in the season for Southern Columbia. The 4-hole hitter fouls the first pitch he sees from Spencer out of play for a strike 1. Yost singled into first, popped up to Spencer, who was playing third base at the time.
Yeah,
in foul territory his last time up.
Sorry, Bob. Regal's pretty much normally where he would be. Schloss is still, I think, a little too far in on the left field line. I don't know if Yost if he sees that and he can go opposite field, but that is going to be a problem anywhere he can put this ball in the outfield.
1-1 pitch to Yost. Almost inside, almost hit him. I'm not sure how it didn't. He kind of skipped over the top of it. It's back-to-back nice plays by the catcher, Nate Meyer, on 2 pitches way inside to Yost. And a good job by the catcher to make the backhand stop and make sure that the Southern Columbia Tigers don't get a run across on the wild pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Just misses. It's 3-1.
You know, Hopper's taking a big lead on second, too. And watch him and Krzyzewski. They're having a little conversation out there.
3-1 pitch is over for a called strike. So here you go. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The runners will be off on the pitch, and good wheels on the bases for Southern Columbia. Andrew Yost, the hitter. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The runners took off almost a little bit too early, and Spencer took a step off the mount. Going to come from the windup. And it's ball 4. Walks in a run. Williams, the courtesy runner, will score. Yost gets an RBI on it as he walks with the bases loaded. They'll bring up Aiden Hockenbrock, who tripled his last time up after grounding out to the pitcher his first time up. First pitch to him is way up high for a ball. Bases remain loaded. Hopper now at third, Myers at second, and Yost, who gets the RBI, at first. 5-0 Southern Columbia, and looking for more damage. Over for a called strike 1.
taken all the way that time, Hockenbrock. And this is, again, where if they had any availability for Cray, I think the move would have been made already. They just don't know what would be up next.
That's way up high again. It's 2-1. Hockenbrock, the triple over the left fielder Mike Schloss's head in the left center field gap that rolled all the way to the backstop, came around to score. Run number 4 at the time for Southern Columbia. They've added one on here. And this one beats it on the third base side. Oresco cannot make the play. 1 run will score. They're going to wave Myers around. The throw to the plate is not going to be in time. It's a 2-run single and a 7-0 Southern Columbia lead.
And another error for this Mercyhurst team. I guess they could say that's a sharply hit ball, so they may not go error, but just another misplay up the middle. Uncharacteristic for this Mercyhurst team. Southern Columbia making them pay, and the way these Tigers are hitting the ball right now is impressive.
Wait and see how they score that. They have not scored it yet on the scoreboard, but it's 2 runs across for Southern Columbia, and that might be the end of the line here for Spencer. Randy Durkowski is headed out. He's going to have a conversation first with Mike Finney, the home plate umpire, so this is going to be a pitching change for Mercyhurst Prep. They do give that as a base. They do score it as a base hit, so it'll be 2 RBIs for Hockenbrock on his second hit of the game. Yost stopped at second base, so it's first and second, and still 2 outs in the inning. But Southern Columbia with 3 runs across here in this fourth. The Tigers lead at 7-0. And it would appear that we're going to have a change here. We'll figure out exactly what's going on as Durkowski takes the ball from Spencer. So his pitching days are over with. He'll likely go back to third base, and we'll figure out the changes once it all settles in. Nobody is in the bullpen warming up, so whoever's coming in to pitch is already on the field for Mercyhurst Prep. Sure. Randy Durkowski has the ball in his hand, which is usually an indication that pitching change is happening, but the conversation is still with Spencer. Is he going to give the ball back to him?
That's interesting.
It looks like it.
But again, I just don't know where they can turn as far as relief pitching goes. Krzyzewski, you still need him for his defense up the middle in the field, so I think that would be a little bit too risky of a move to bring him in. Oresco could pitch too, but their options with Cray maxing out Monday are extremely limited. And, again, you turn to a guy in Rice who hadn't started since May 21st. The mindset of a starter and a reliever is 2 different things, especially in this type of situation. So they've got their hands tied here with what they can do pitching-wise.
And they're still not out of the woods yet. 2 on, 2 out now for Andrew Novak, who doubled and drove in 2 runs his last time up. And the first pitch this time from Spencer is a called strike. Novak, right-handed hitter. 1 for 2 on the day with the RBI double. The 0-1 pitch. And time is called. Yost, the runner at second. Hockenbrock, the runner at first, and a big swing and a miss. As Novak now in a no ball and 2-strike hole. So whatever the conversation was with Randy Durkowski, it has appeared to at least settled Spencer down a little bit to throw some strikes here to get ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Runner takes off from second. They've got him picked off. They're going to get him in a rundown, and the tag will be applied as Spencer throws it to Oresco, who tags out Andrew Yost, who broke too soon, and that will end the inning for Southern Columbia. But the Tigers put 3 runs across. They did it on just 1 hit. There were no errors, and it's 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the 5th when we return to Penn State University with Southern Columbia on top, 7-0.
The PIAA is honored to have St. Luke's University Health Network, a nationally recognized entity in sports medicine, as the official medical provider of the PIAA Championships. St. Luke's University Health Network is a top 100 major teaching hospital which provides care to athletes ranging from youth sports to professional athletes in Pennsylvania. St. Luke's Sports Medicine offers comprehensive athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management, plus sports performance training for individual athletes and teams. St. Luke's is proud to have been chosen to support the Champions of Pennsylvania as the official medical provider of the PIAA Championships.
Spalding is proud to be the official baseball of the PIAA playoffs. Founded on baseball over 100 years ago, Spalding has a full line of baseballs for every level of play. Spalding, true to the game.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Alongside Eric Thomas, my name is Bob McCool. We're headed to the 5th inning. Southern Columbia 7. Mercyhurst Prep nothing. A lot of work to do for the Lakers to get themselves trying to get back into this game, as Levi Everett has limited any damage done. Worked himself out of a little bit of trouble here and there, but for the most part, he has been in command, including getting a double play to finish off the Lakers in the 4th. And Mercyhurst Prep will send 7, 8, and 9 due at the plate here in this 5th inning. Jake Natemeyer leading it off. Grounded out to first base his first time up. And the first pitch from the right-handed pitching Levi Everett is just a bit low for a ball. Couple of crooked numbers for the Tigers, 2 in the first and 3 in the 4th, with a couple of single-run innings in between for a 7-0 advantage. And the 1-0 pitch is over for a called strike. It's 1-1. Everett walked just one, and that was in the last inning that ultimately was wiped out on the double play. Mercyhurst Prep with just 3 hits so far against him. And that's over again for a called strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now, how much confidence do you think he's going to pitch with now? You might see him rear back and let a couple rip.
One thing you do know what to do is put men on base. And there is some activity now in the Mercyhurst Prep bullpen, and there's a swing and a miss, strike 3, as Natemeyer chases one out of the strike zone for the strikeout, the 4th of the day for Everett.
I think the other factor in this game has been, again, the limited times the top of the order has had a chance here, and Everett pitching really well. You know, they got the double play the last inning to get him out of it. Now it's the bottom of the order.
This one fouled out of play off the bat of Walker Ashton.
And it really sets it up so when the next time those guys come through, Krzyzewski, Regal, and Spencer, Everett can throw him whatever he wants. They're going to be pressing at the plate, and that's the exact position you want to be in as a starter.
Shows bunt, drops one down the first baseline. Everett, the pitcher, is the only one who's going to have a play on it. A little bit of a high throw, but no problem. Yost with the runner, Ashton bearing down on him, makes the play for out number 2 as Ashton tried to bunt his way on. 2 pitchers warming up in the Mercyhurst Prep bullpen. One is Noah Regal, the other is Cameron Oresco. According to the stats we have for Mercyhurst Prep, they have combined for 3 appearances so far in the season. To Eric's point about the lack of depth in the pitching situation right now for the Lakers. Here's a little tapper to the right side off the bat of Mike Schloss, and no problem for Andrew Yost. He'll make the play at first base all by himself, and another quick inning for Everett as Mercyhurst Prep goes 1-2-3 in the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th at Penn State University, Southern Columbia 7, Mercyhurst Prep nothing.
Do you need custom cuts of meat for your next cookout? Look no further than Wise Markets. At Wise Markets, they can custom cut a variety of meats, providing you with the perfect size and best quality. You'll always get fresh, in-store cut meat at your local Wise Markets. Eat better, spend less, that's Wise.
If you think you can make the calls, become a PIAA official. Make some extra cash, stay in shape, and enjoy interscholastic sports, all while making a difference in your community. Head to PIAA.org for more information.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Bottom half of the 5th inning, 7-0 Southern Columbia on top, and Hayden Spencer is back out to pitch in this his second inning of work. As we said during the top half of the inning, that the Lakers did have both Regal, the right fielder, and Oresco, now the third baseman, warming up in between. So if Randy Drukoski can't get Spencer cleanly through this inning, one of those two likely is coming in.
35 pitches in that inning for Spencer, too. And I can tell you that the majority of them were not for strikes. 7 batters faced in the inning. 4 walks tagged for the 3 earned runs. That is a lot of work in relief for one inning. And now they're going to basically be asking you to go the rest of the way, I would think anyway, depending on what happens here to start this inning. And you've got to hold a 7-0 lead.
Andrew Novak, who was at the plate at the end of the 4th inning on the pickoff attempt. Andrew Yost got picked off to end Southern Columbia's 4th inning. So Novak leads off here in the 5th with a clean start against Spencer, who misses way outside for ball 1. Right back with a 1-0 pitch. It's on the inside corner. It's even 1-1.
Should say you have to hold a 7-0 deficit.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss.
It's the reverse hold, Bob. It's that reverse hold will always get you.
Novak again with an RBI double his last time up. 1 for 2 on the day. 1-2 pitch. Just a bit low. It's 2-2. Long hold there from Jack Natemeyer, the catcher.
Trying to frame pitches.
Apparently so.
What a veteran move that is.
2-2 pitch. Catches the outside corner for a called strike 3. Novak down looking. First strikeout for second strikeout for Spencer. And 1 out here in the 5th.
That's the best pitch he's thrown all day to this point. I mean, they just located his spots. He definitely has a live arm. I don't know that he has got the repertoire that some of the other pitchers on this staff do, but when he can get behind one and throw and paint those corners, he is tough.
He gets one at the knees here for Mikowski, the designated hitter. Takes one for a called strike 1. He walked and scored, grounded out in his 2 plate appearances so far. So officially 0 for 1 with a run scored. And this one tapped down the first base line. Jack Stoker makes a backhand stop, and Spencer there to cover. The pitcher tags the bag for out number 2. So ever since Randy Drukoski came out to have the conversation with Spencer, and we thought was going to be taking him out of the game, Spencer has settled down and thrown strikes.
Yeah, he has really calmed down, and I think, sometimes you just need like that. Look, we got a lot of confidence in you, but sometimes you just need more of a, you've got another inning to do this. I think the conversation was a little bit more direct. It wasn't the vote of confidence, that dreaded vote of confidence.
Caden Zachman swings through the first pitch. It's no balls and a strike. It was a long conversation on the mound, and it was a 2-man conversation. It was Spencer and Drukoski. There was nobody else involved.
No, that was a 1-man conversation, I think.
I think you're right. I think the 25-year veteran had a lot of, and again, he took the ball. At first he stopped to talk to the home plate umpire, Mike Finney, so you automatically think they're making a change. And this one lined into right center field. Oncoming is Walker Ashton, and he'll make the catch in the gap. And it turns out to be a 1-2-3 inning for Southern Columbia. The first time the Tigers have gone in order. They do so here in the 5th. We are through 5 in the 2A state championship game, and it is Southern Columbia on top of Mercyhurst Prep 7-0 when we come back on the PIAA Radio Network.
The PA Attorney General's Office and the PIAA remind you to not let pain become a killer. Be a good Samaritan. If you suspect a teammate, family member, or friend of abusing prescription drugs, tell a coach, tell a teammate, tell a teacher, tell someone. For help and information, go to ddap.pa.gov, and together we can ensure that pain doesn't become a killer. The PIAA would like to thank preferred headwear and head brand supplier Outdoor Cap and Junk Brands for their continued sponsorship of PIAA athletics. Their products are built to perform with style from the sidelines to the stands. Visit junkbrands.com to learn more.
We head to the top half of the 6th inning, and again, obviously a lot of work to do for the Mercyhurst Prep Lakers. They trail 7-0, and they're down now to their final 2 at-bats as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. They will have the top of their order due up here in the 6th. That's Zach Krzyzewski, Noah Regal, and Hunter Spencer. Levi Everett on the mound since the start for Southern Columbia and has been in very little trouble so far. Tired the last 5 batters he has faced after giving up his first walk of the game to start the 4th inning. Zach Krzyzewski, the leadoff man, who's been on board both times up. He's got 2 of the Lakers' 3 hits so far on the day. No runs, 3 hits, and 3 errors committed by Mercyhurst Prep. 7 runs on 6 hits, no errors for Southern Columbia. Krzyzewski to be followed by Noah Regal and then Hunter Spencer, the top 3 in the order for the Lakers. And the first pitch to Krzyzewski is over for a called strike. Like I said, the Thunder in this lineup, as it is in most lineups, is at the top 3. So with this being the 6th inning, really an opportunity here for Mercyhurst Prep to try to get themselves back in it now. 0-1 pitch. High chopper that's going to go into left field for a base hit. Myers, the third baseman, was up on the grass, and the ball simply chopped up and over his head, and Krzyzewski's on base for his 3rd hit of the day.
Yeah, he's just a really talented hitter, and you said it, the Thunder is in this top part of the order, and they got to do it now. It's now or never at this point, and especially with Spencer coming up, this is a big at-bat here for Mercyhurst. If Regal's able to get on, Krzyzewski's in somewhere safely, and Spencer has a chance, and he can work a count, they can possibly have to pitch to him.
First pitch to Regal is up and away for a ball. Regal hit a one-hopper with a ground rule double on left center field fence his last time up. Ultimately turned out to be costly for Mercyhurst Prep. Denied them from at least a run scoring on that ground rule double. 1-0 pitch is way inside. It's 2-0. So 1 for 2 in the day for Regal. And again, with the thunder of the bat of Hunter Spencer in the on-deck circle, I think we can eliminate the idea of small ball from Randy Dukoski at this point in time of the game.
Out the window.
In a 7-0 deficit right here in the 6th. There's a pickoff attempt. Krzyzewski will dive back in. Doesn't mean that they might not try to pick up a base on a stolen base somewhere to get somebody in scoring position. Another pickoff attempt. Krzyzewski hadn't even really stepped off the bag as of yet. Everett's done that a couple of times where he's gone back-to-back on the pickoff attempts. 2-0 pitch is way inside. It hit him. Thought I heard a click, and it did hit the arm guard of Regal, so he's on board. So a single and now a hit by pitch puts 2 men on base for Hunter Spencer. So they do what they wanted to do, and they've got the bat at the plate that they want to have up. But so far, Spencer, who's batted both times with runners in scoring position, is 0 for 2. Struck out in the first, fouled out in the 3rd. Hayden Spencer, 28 RBIs on the season, 13 extra base hits, 3 of them home runs, and as Eric talked about, 1 of them a walk-off home run against Neshannock in the semifinals on Monday night. First pitch to him. Over for a called strike 1. Braden Andrews, the center fielder, is deep. Aiden Hockenbrock, the left fielder, with the power potential of Spencer, is not. Fouls this one at the plate. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes to Spencer. Spencer a little frustrated with himself right now as he takes a step away, kind of taps the bat on the ground behind home plate as he falls behind, no balls and 2 strikes. 2 on, nobody out, top half of the 6th. Chopper right side, tough play for Yost, the first baseman, but he'll make the play. Everett late to get over there, but he beats Spencer to the bag. Spencer took a dive as they tangled feet with one another. He's a little bit shaken up as the 2 runners. Krzyzewski moves up to 3rd, Regal to 2nd, 1 out now here in the 6th inning. So the play goes 3-1 on Yost flipped to Everett covering. But then Spencer, I believe, tripped over the feet of Everett and was on the ground. Now he's back up on his feet. You know, imagine it's going to take a whole lot more than that to get Hayden Spencer off the field right now. He's up limping a little bit. Randy Durkowski, the head coach, will come over and make sure he's okay. Again, he's pitching right now. So got to make sure all parts are working for Spencer. He's okay as he walks back to the dugout, and Cameron Oresco comes to the plate. Southern Columbia will use the unofficial timeout for a conversation on the mound to start talk about what they want to do defensively here. Runners at second and third and one out. Southern Columbia will not bring the infield up with a 7-run cushion. They're just looking for an out here. With the cleanup hitter Oresco at the plate, who's 0 for 1 so far on the day. Grounded out to third, walked his last time up. The only walk surrendered by Everett today was with Cameron Oresco. And he swings and fouls the first pitch straight back. It's no balls and a strike. Top half of the 6th inning. Southern Columbia with a 7-run advantage, and Mercyhurst Prep trying to break one across here. Hopefully for them, it's 2 with 2 runners in scoring position.
Outfield back in right field and in center. That means anything over top of second or up the middle is going to get 2 across.
A 1 pitch. Beats another one foul. This one down the third base line. And Everett quickly gets ahead of Cameron Oresco. No balls and 2 strikes.
It's been interesting to watch how these guys have played the depth and the lines and everything. I mean, you can – everybody does their scouting reports. You can find some of that stuff online too, but just getting accustomed to the depth of this field and knowing where they have to be and get a sense for it maybe after 1 or 2 times through.
Grounds towards short, backhanded by Hopper. His play is going to be to first base in time. A run will score as Krzyzewski comes across with the Lakers' first run to make it a 7-1 game, but a big second out recorded by Southern Columbia at first base.
Yeah, Hopper just eating everything up the middle today.
So 2 outs in the inning. Regal moves up as well from second to third. An RBI for Oresco, his 22nd of the season. And now with 2 outs, Hunter Cray is the batter. Cray 0 for 2 on the day. Breaking ball is the first pitch, and that's up high for ball 1.
Again, it's still deep, too, outfield-wise.
Cray also with 21 RBIs on the season. And the 0-1 pitch to him is on the outside corner for called strike 2. Again, infield back, trying to get the third and final out here in the 6th. 0-2, 1-1 pitch. Beats it foul. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jack Stoker in the on-deck circle if Cray can reach. The runner at third base and 2 outs. A run across for Mercyhurst Prep here in the top of the 6th. Way inside, spins him off the plate as Cray has to get out of the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Comes with a curveball, slaps it in right field, and it's going to fall. Did it hit the line? It did. It's a base hit, and a run will score. It hit the right field chalk line, and Hunter Cray has himself an RBI single, and a second run comes across for the Lakers. Just kind of reached the bat out there, and a check swing, and slapped it down the right field line, and hit chalk. And it's a 7-2 game.
Well then. Good piece of hitting. We've seen a couple, the one through the third base side, and then that one, little reach out, little blooper, whatever you want to call it. Pushed it. And that, that's the thing about this Mercyhurst team, and it's not that anybody else is not the same as them, but I thought it was interesting to follow through on some of the things out of Monday's game. They're a very smart team. I mean, to take the amount of chances that you want to at the plate, you've got to be a smart team. You've got to be confident, and you've got to be smart.
Pitch to plate to Jack Stoker, over for a called strike.
And I just to understand like where you have to kind of reach out or how you want to swing. If you swing down, where the pitch is located, your eyesight, locating it somewhere on the base path.
Stoker lifts this one foul out of play. Everett quickly ahead of Stoker. No balls and 2 strikes.
Just think that's a good credit to Randy Durkowski and his staff and how well prepared they have these guys mentally for that part of the game.
Gray takes his lead off of first. 2 outs here in the 6th. 2 no balls and 2 strikes to Stoker. Way outside. Good backhanded stop by the catcher, Richard. Keeps Cray from moving into scoring position. 2 runs across for the Lakers here in the 6th as they try and chip away at what is now a 7-2 Southern Columbia lead.
It's really the first time we've seen Everett labor in this game, too.
Certainly driving up the pitch count as well for the right-handed pitcher as he misses that outside. It's 2-2. Good take there by Jack Stoker with 2 strikes.
84 now for Everett. He was cruising early in the game, and it seems like the longer this game has gone, it looked like he was getting the better, but now back to that patient style of attack for Mercyhurst, and it's starting to wear on him a little bit.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Stoker. Fisted in towards the middle of the field, and a diving catch made by the second baseman, Andrew Novak, to take away a base hit from Stoker and retire the Lakers in the 6th. But Mercyhurst Prep finally gets a couple of runs across. 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and a 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's now Southern Columbia 7, Mercyhurst Prep 2 on the PIAA Radio Network.
Baron Rings are the official championship ring of the PIAA. For more information or to order your custom championship rings, please go to baronrings.com. That website, once again, is baronrings.com to order your custom championship rings today.
The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA, 2 community-focused organizations, are proud to be collaborating to provide Pennsylvanians free access to local high school sports broadcasts. To follow your schools, check your local TV and radio stations for coverage. Through the PAB and PIAA partnership, following Pennsylvania student athletes has never been easier.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Mercyhurst Prep puts a couple across, and here comes Southern Columbia back to the plate. Tigers held without a run for the first time in this ballgame in the 5th inning, and there is a pitching change for Mercyhurst Prep. We mentioned that both Noah Regal and Cameron Oresco had been warming up previously, and it's going to be Regal who comes in as the 3rd pitcher of the day for Mercyhurst Prep. So Regal comes in. Spencer goes back to 3rd base. And we'll assume that did Oresco go to right field now for Regal? That would appear to be the case. So Regal into pitch. Oresco is in right. It's 3rd position of the day for him. He started the game at 2nd, went to 3rd, and now is in right field. And Spencer goes back to 3rd base. So Noah Regal to pitch, and he will face 9, 1, and 2 in the Southern Columbia lineup. That's Gavin Richard. Top of the order is Braden Andrews, and then Caden Hopper to follow. Having a conversation in between innings as to whether Mike Myers will go with Caden Hopper for the 7th, or whether he'll allow Everett to go back out there to pitch the 7th.
Noah Regal this season has been pretty good in limited work. 1 appearance, doesn't have an ERA, didn't register an ERA, only threw 1 inning, struck out 2, and faced 3 batters, so very limited in what he's been able to do. Spencer, who threw a ton of pitches in relief, goes 2 innings, 1 hit, 3 runs, 4 walks.
Gavin Richard takes the second pitch from Regal, lifts it into left field. No problem for Mike Schloss, the left fielder, to make the catch for out number 1. I'll bring up the top of the order, Braden Andrews. Andrews 1 for 3 on the day. Safe on an error to get the game started. Came around to score the first run of the game for Southern Columbia. Got an RBI single in the second and struck out his last time up. And that's outside for a ball 1. Andrews headed to Misericordia in the fall to continue his baseball career. Part of the halfback combination in that wing tee offense for Jim Roth that won a state championship in December. Multi-year starter for Southern Columbia in a couple of different sports. He's a very good center field for Southern Columbia. Chokes up from the left-hand side in the batter's box with a 1 ball and no strike count after a quick conversation with Mike Myers down the third base line. 1-0 pitch there for a called strike. Andrews was going to see a strike from Regal before he did anything. Now he's seen that. And now he's back in the batter's box. And he takes that on the outside corner. It's 1-2. He was frustrated his last time up after striking out facing Spencer.
1,500-yard rusher and that vaunted wing tee.
1-2 pitch bounces up there as Regal overthrows that one and makes it a 2 balls and 2 strike count. So facing his third pitcher of the day is Braden Andrews. He steps back into batter's box at 2-2. Lines this one into right center field, and that's going to find a gap. Andrews rounds first base, and he is headed for second. Oresco's throw is cut off. It's a double for Braden Andrews with 1 out here in the 6th inning.
Now, we said it about the depth here. Look at how hard he hit that ball and where it landed. It looked like it, on a regular high school baseball field, that might have ended up being a long single, but because of how deep this park is, he took a wide turn at first base, but was motoring up that line and almost tripped coming around the first base bag, but then was able to regain his composure and get into second pretty easily for the double.
So that brings Caden Hopper to the plate. Hopper walked and scored his last time up. Only time he's been on base today. He's 0 for 2 with that walk and a run scored as Andrews in scoring position. Southern Columbia seems to have had runners in scoring position time after time so far today. Big lead for Andrews, and the pitch to Hopper is outside. They're going to call a balk, I believe. Yep. It's a balk that will move Andrews up. I don't think he came to a stop in the stretch, and that was the balk call. And that might be on Andrews because of his dancing off of second base.
400 with runners in scoring position today in this game.
Pitch to plate, ground ball to short. Krzyzewski's going to make the play to first. And it's dug out. No, it's not, as the first baseman Stoker could not handle it. That's going to be another error on Krzyzewski, and a run will score. Andrews was going to score regardless of the play at the plate. So it will be an RBI for Hopper. He is safe with 1 out here in the 6th. Error number 4 on the day for Mercyhurst Prep.
Again, they only had 2 coming into this game in the PIAA tournament. Uncharacteristic, especially from that middle infield.
Myers, their hitter now for Southern Columbia, as Hopper takes off. The pitch to plate is a ball. The throw down is not in time. Hopper takes second base on the stolen base. It's 8-2 Southern Columbia on top. And another runner in scoring position for the Tigers. And a 1 ball and no strike count on Myers, who has scored 2 runs today, and he's driven in 1. Breaking ball right there for a called strike 1. So again, Hopper gets the RBI because Krzyzewski was just going to make the play to first. They were conceding the run scored with Krzyzewski playing back. But error number 4 puts another runner across, and still only 1 out. And that pitch is over for a called strike 2. It's 1-2 now to Myers. Junior 3-hole hitter for Southern Columbia. Striegel takes a couple looks back at second, comes to the plate, breaking ball way outside. It's 2-2. Cleanup hitter Andrew Yost in the on-deck circle for the Tigers, who have just one out so far here in this 6th inning. This one lifted foul and out of play. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Myers. Single, scored a run in the first, flew out to center field in the third, and walked and scored a run in the fourth. 2-2 pitch is way up high. The count is full. Brady Rice started for Mercyhurst Prep. Hayden Spencer relieved. And now in his first inning of work is Noah Riegel. Breaking ball hit towards Krzyzewski again at shortstop. He'll make the play to first. It's a high throw, and it pulls Stoker off the bag, and Myers is safe at first. Hopper moves up to third base. It's been a day that Zach Krzyzewski would like to forget about. That is error number 5 for Mercyhurst Prep. Back-to-back errors for Krzyzewski. Runners at the corner now and 1 out for Andrew Yost.
April 24th, before today's last error. It is unbelievable how these things just tend to snowball for guys.
And that's how this game got started. And Southern Columbia got themselves started on the scoreboard as a result of it. As Mercyhurst Prep made 3 errors in the first inning. And they've made 2 more since in this inning. 5 in total. Pitch to the plate up high to Yost. 1 ball and no strikes. Yost on base twice today. Singled in the first, walked in the fourth. Walked with the bases loaded his last time up to drive in a run.
Across the way, it's softball. Shaler has a 6-0 lead on Abingdon Heights in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Runner takes off from first. Pitch is over inside. The ball gets by Krzyzewski over his head. A good backup there by Mike Menendo at the second baseman there to make sure the ball doesn't go into center field. But Myers gets the stolen base, so 2 runners now in scoring position for Yost, and 2 balls and no strikes to him.
They adjusted the order of games over at softball today, so 5A led it off. With some inclement weather and a long trip for Union, they pushed that game back.
There's a little fister towards third. Spencer up with it. He looked home, but he's going to make the play to first in time to retire Yost. But on the play, Caden Hopper will score. 2nd run of the inning and 9th run of the afternoon for Southern Columbia. Another RBI for Andrew Yost. 2 outs now here in the 6th. And Aiden Hockenbrock will now bat for Southern Columbia. He has had a good game as well. A couple hits, scored a run, and drove in 2. Pitch to him is on the outside corner for a called strike.
Yeah, I've really been impressed. I mean, I saw this Mercyhurst team on Monday, and I've been more impressed with Southern 1 through 9.
This is a chopper again towards Krzyzewski. He'll make the play, he'll make the throw, and this time it's in time for out number 3 in the 6th. But Southern Columbia puts 2 more runs across. They did it on just 1 hit. There were 2 errors and 1 man left on base. Last chance for the Lakers as we head to the top of the 7th. It's 9-2 Southern Columbia on top.
Hi, I'm Dr. Elizabeth Zona, an osteopathic physician dedicated to protecting young people. Every family needs to know that 13 American teens die every week from a drug overdose, and most involve fentanyl. Many never even knew that's what they were taking. Because fentanyl can be found in fake prescription pills made to look like real medications, like Xanax or Percocet, and they're often sold on social media. Just 1 pill can kill. Learn more at fentanylawarenessday.org, presented by Song for Charlie through POMA.
The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA promote the highest ideals of good sportsmanship in interscholastic athletics. Always remember to respect student athletes, coaches, contest officials, and game administration to help promote a safe and positive game environment. Together, we can foster a community of good sportsmanship.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Welcome back. Last chance for the Lakers. Southern Columbia on top as we head to the 7th, 9-2 Tigers. So Mercyhurst with a big hole to try to climb out of, trying to win their first ever state championship. With Mercyhurst Prep in a hole at 9-2. Invite you to stick around for more on the PIAA Radio Network. Coming up, scheduled for a 1:30 start, is our 4A game. That's Holy Ghost Prep against Indiana. Indiana going for state title number 3 in a row if they can beat Holy Ghost Prep in the 4A game, and then the 6A game will wrap things up in day 1 of our coverage. The 6A game is Butler against Neshaminy, and then we'll have 3 more games for you starting at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow with the 1A, the 3A, and the 5A games going on Friday here at O'Brien Park.
Third straight title game for Indiana. They're looking for a second straight, and they were one of only 4 in the recent years to make 3 straight, and Eden Christian, a team that we'll see tomorrow morning, is one of the other 4.
The Warriors coming up short in those first 2 as Nate Meyer at the plate. He is 0 for 2 so far on the day. Levi Everett is back out there to pitch, try to finish this thing off for Southern Columbia. We were debating on whether or not Mike Myers might go to Kate Hopper, but he's turning it over to Everett to try to finish this thing off. And he is a 1 and 1 strike count to Nate Meyer. And that's over for a called strike. It's 1-2.
I really think the next game of the 3 today has potential to be the best. That Holy Ghost team, 1 through 9, can mash. They pitch really well. They are deep, and Indiana might have some of the best pitching in the state of Pennsylvania again.
That's over for a called strike 3. Nate Meyer goes down looking. Strikeout number 5 for Levi Everett. 1 out here in the 7th.
Yeah, he's going to be okay as far as count. They can let him finish it out. He's at 92 now. You get 105 in the playoffs, so he's in good shape as long as one of these isn't extended.
Walker Ashton, the 8-hole hitter, bats. He's 0 for 2. And this one's fouled out of play. Actually a pinch hitter for Ashton. Luca Almonte is batting for Ashton. And there's also a pinch hitter, it appears, in the on-deck circle for Mercyhurst Prep.
And no activity in the Southern bullpen, so they're expecting he is going to just finish this thing out.
Aaron Tice is the on-deck hitter, pinch hitting. Again, Randy Durkowski with the bottom of his order due up in this inning. So Almonte quickly behind, no balls and 2 strikes after fouling off the first 2 offerings from Everett. Just misses his 1-2. I think Everett knows his mission. Throw strikes and do it quickly. Economy of pitches is what he's hoping for because he wants to be able to finish this thing off. 1-2 to Almonte. Curveball is just off. They appeal to first. He did not swing. Tiger faithful and quite a few players on the field all thought that was strike 3. It was not. It's 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Almonte went chasing after a pitch out of the strike zone. Back-to-back strikeouts for Everett here to start the 7th.
Yeah, you're seeing that 84 to 86 mile-an-hour fastball coming back here at the time. And assuming that he gets this, he can finish this at bat. He's at 97 pitches now. So 8 more to go. He may not need 8 to close this thing out.
Aaron Tice, the hitter. And the first pitch to him is over on the outside corner for a called strike. Tice, the pinch hitter. Batting for the 10th time this season. He is 3 for 7 on the year. And he lifts this one foul and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. So Southern Columbia 1 pitch away from their 2nd state baseball championship. And the first was in 2000. Everett takes a look, winds and delivers. Curveball's up and in and at the head of Tice, who had to duck out of the way of it.
Yeah, that's how I'm a little too amped up right now to get that final strike, and sorry this slipped out of my hands. But what a performance by Everett today.
1-2 pitch. Tries to get him to chase. He doesn't have to worry about it. It's over on the outside corner for a call. Strike three. That will do it. The Southern Columbia Tigers are your state champions with a commanding 9-2 victory as Everett strikes out the side in the seventh.
What a performance, and you could have easily looked at it if you were Coach Myers and said, we can go to Caden Hopper today. They have a 1-2 punch. You said it earlier today, you're only as good as your number 2, and that is paramount to success in the state of Pennsylvania, and they have a really, really good number 2 pitcher in Levi Everett, who shut down, for the most part, this Mercyhurst lineup today.
Got to think that those final 2 runs in the 6th inning may have helped make Mike Myers' decision a little bit easier. That Everett had another 2 runs to his advantage, whether it was 7-2 or 9-2 may not seem like a difference, but I think it's the difference that, hey, look, we got a little bit more cushion. Let's run him out there. If he can get out of it, if he can get through with, again, an economy of pitches, because if Mercyhurst can string together any kind of an inning, then he's going to be at his pitch limit. And, hey, if it happens, we got a lead, and we still have our best pitcher who come in with work to do. It's a great place to be for Southern Columbia. They were in a perfect position heading into that top of the 7th
Yeah,
inning.
they really were. And for him to come back and throw a 1-2-3 and strike out all 3, keeping some of that in the reserve tank for late in the game, you know, it means a lot to these guys. It's meant a lot to this Mercyhurst team, who's had a really successful season. Southern Columbia did everything you had to do today in order to win a state title. They took advantage of the errors, which, you know, you can't predict those. You can't predict anything in baseball. I think we know that. Somebody great once said that. But you also have to make sure in those moments that you take advantage of it, and they did that right from the start. You don't expect guys like Krzyzewski to have errors and problems like he did fielding balls today, and Southern Columbia jumped all over that early on. And I think that kind of took Mercyhurst out of some of the psyche. And you cannot question starting Brady Rice, but again, a guy who has not started a game since May 21st, that is a tall task when you've had Hunter Cray that has carried you to this point, and he's unavailable in this game. It would have been, had they played this game tomorrow, Cray pitches, there's no question. And he would be a different animal for Southern to deal with. But you have to trust it. Mercyhurst just kind of found out beyond their number 1 pitcher that there isn't quite that level that's needed to win a state title, and that was a tough one for him to take today.
We are going to take one more quick timeout. We'll come back and wrap up Game 1 on the PIAA Radio Network right after this.
Transform your field with Digital Scoreboard's massive outdoor LED displays. Designed to handle any weather, they deliver bold visuals for scores, replays, and sponsor ads. Visit digitalscoreboards.net to get started.
Some see a high school football stadium. We see a place where Pennsylvanians come together as a community. The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA creating opportunities for student athletes to be seen across Pennsylvania.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Is college in your future? The Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency helps PA students and families navigate all things college, such as scholarships, grants, and loans. For more information on ways to plan and pay for college, visit PHEAA.org. That's PHEAA.org.
If you think you can make the calls, become a PIAA official. Make some extra cash, stay in shape, and enjoy interscholastic sports, all while making a difference in your community. Head to PIAA.org for more information.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
The PIAA Radio Network is brought to you by Wayne Bank, your hometown bank proudly serving communities across Pennsylvania for more than 150 years.
Attention fans, get your next game day ticket using Hometown. As the official online ticketing partner of the PIAA, Hometown gives you a simple and secure way to search, buy, and scan your ticket right from your phone. Download the Hometown Fan app from your mobile app store today.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Mercyhurst Prep getting the silver medals. Southern Columbia will get the gold for the 2026 2A Baseball State Championship. Again, Southern Columbia wins its second straight title. The first still eludes Mercyhurst Prep, but a tremendous season for the Lakers. And the Tigers are your state champions. They were district runner-up, but they are state champions. Final numbers in this one for Southern Columbia: 9 runs on 7 hits. They did not commit an error. They left 5 on base. Mercyhurst Prep with 2 runs on 5 hits. They committed 5 errors, and they left 4 men on base. Levi Everett gets the win. He is 8-1 on the season for his final numbers. Brady Rice takes the loss. He finishes at 5-2. Mercyhurst Prep finishes 22-3. The District 10 champions finish off a great season with a 22-3 loss. And Southern Columbia with the state title, the Tigers, finish at 19-4. The time of the game, 1 hour and 55 minutes. Game 2 on the PIAA Radio Network coming up, that is scheduled for a 1:30 start. It's the 4A state championship game. Holy Ghost Prep taking on Indiana. Eric Thomas and Rich Garcello will have the call of that game for you here in the PIAA Radio Network. And again, we'll finish off our coverage with the 6A championship game that is scheduled for 4:30. That is Butler taking on the Chamonix, and then 3 more games as well for you tomorrow on the PIAA Radio Network. That is going to do it for our coverage. Our producer is Matt Flannery, my broadcast partner Eric Thomas. My name is Bob McCool. Thanks for listening to the PIAA Baseball Radio Network and the PIAA Baseball Championship. Southern Columbia, your 2A title. The Tigers win it 9-2. Thanks for listening, everyone. This one lined in the left field. Schloss with a long run. He's not going to get there, and it's over his head.
It's the post-game show on the PIAA Radio Network. Let's head back out to Happy Valley for the medal ceremony and a recap of today's game, and join our broadcast crew of Bob McCool, Eric Thomas, and Rich Scarcella.